Hello and good afternoon and welcome to Tuesday afternoon's Kitchen Table Talk. It's good to gather again. Alison Southern here, Team Vicar from Melksham Team Ministry. How are you doing today? My day today was busy this morning with meetings and I was thinking, table talk this afternoon. Need to ponder, need to think. What do I want to talk about today? And just by sheer coincidence, something popped up on my Facebook. Sometimes the things that pop up on my Facebook, I just go, oh, please. Other times I look and they make me think. Today's said, not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. That really did make me ponder. It made me think about my own life and the times in my life where things have been traumatic and difficult to cope with, and yet have led me in a different direction. I was once very ill and given a year to live. That was a long time ago. But it changed my life and changed my direction. I'm sat here as a priest, probably because of what happened within that period of time. The change was traumatic. I was really unwell, and yet I was lucky enough to recover and change the way I saw things in my life and the way I did things. Now, some traumas come and they are so devastating that they cannot help but change our lives in ways that we will feel as being complete destruction. But there are often times where things come, and even when they are devastating, they can lead us into a change, a shift, a different way forward or through situations. I was thinking about that in terms of our global pandemic that we're experiencing at the moment. I was thinking about that in terms of how we are as a nation and how we prioritise and care for one another. The COVID experience for all of us has been huge. Some have lost loved ones and there has been real tragedy. And for many, the economic change is life-altering. But if we are looking at the bigger picture, I just wonder what we are going to learn from this situation, how we are going to let this storm across the world actually be a way of clearing the way we see, prioritising our care for one another, and bringing about a shift in the actions we take and the impact that has on other people. I was listening to the radio the other day and they were discussing the COVID outbreak in Leicester, and within the context of that conversation they were talking about the factories and the poor working conditions that were found within these sweatshops, because that's what they are, here in the middle of our own nation. Here in our nation, where we thought we'd stop doing things like that maybe years ago, and yet we haven't. The people who are on the margins of society, those who have the least in terms of education perhaps, or opportunities to learn skills, are still being used in sweatshops or being taken advantage of, not just in Leicester, but I would guess in almost every city across our country. And of course in the farming industry, we have people there too who are nothing short of living a life of slavery. When our eyes are turned to gaze at the storm, to gaze into what's happening, we can't help but think, surely, how do we do this differently? The Bible has much to tell us about how we are to treat our neighbour. Our neighbour might be somebody we know, might be somebody similar to us, but it might equally be somebody we do not know, from a different culture, from a different way of life, but each one our neighbour. So in this COVID storm, as we begin to move through and beyond in this cycle, which I think will be with us for a long time, I really pray that we will all look at how we are living and how we are dealing one with another. We've talked before from this table about community and what that might look like, and how we continue with that building of community that we maybe not experienced for a long time. But we need to go to that next layer too. We need to look at our government. We need to look at the way we make our decisions. All of us have to challenge what we do. I got a letter just yesterday from the Church of England talking about its pension scheme. And in it, there was a really interesting line. It was talking about their governance and how they do things. And in it, they said that if they had been looking at a company to invest with the same kind of layers of governance and decision making as they had, they would refuse on terms of it not being ethically sound. So they're making changes. That's really radical, isn't it? That's about the church recognising that the standards that they hold for other people and looking at other organisations might not have been maintained in theirs. It's turning your gaze to look at what's important and then making a change. So if you and I go in and buy a £3 t-shirt to wear a few times and throw away, how are we living ethically? Are we still keeping people in sweatshops in Leicester, in London, in Glasgow, and all across the country and the world? Or do we choose how we live and how we make a difference to our neighbour and what that really looks like? Jesus came to show us the way to love, to support, to challenge and to change. So in this storm, no matter where you are, how you are being tossed and thrown around, as we all are, shall we make it a change that will be clearing a path to a better society, a better world, where the choices we make are about everybody, not just ourselves. And maybe clearing a path to a whole new way of living. Wouldn't that be exciting? I know I think it would. So let's step on together the journey and see where it takes us. But know that we are responsible for each step we take and the difference we can make in somebody's lives. Something for you to think about, maybe. Don't forget to read all the notices. If you haven't ordered a cream tea, do so. And if you want to chat and talk about life, about faith, about anything, give me a call, send me a text. Let us know how you're thinking, like or grump, but keep in touch. God bless. See you tomorrow night. Bye for now.